Hello to you. I'm Stacey Elgin at the CNN Center in Atlanta. Here's a look at what's happening now in the news. President Bush calls the weekend confrontation between Iran and the U.S. dangerous and provocative. The U.S. military says 5 Iranian boats threatened to blow up U.S. ships in the Persian Gulf Sunday. The U.S. Navy says the ships were on the verge of firing back when Iranian boats then turned away. Talking to reporters, Mr. Bush said the incident proves Iran was and still is a threat. Iran is bound to come up during President Bush's trip to the Middle East. This evening, he leaves Washington for his first trip to Israel and the West Bank since taking office 8 years ago. In Pakistan, Scotland Yard detectives probing the assassination of Benazir Bhutto met with President Pervez Musharraf today. A British embassy official says Mr. Musharraf is vowing the government will not interfere with the ongoing investigation. The polls are open and the candidates are fighting to keep their campaigns on track. Voters in New Hampshire could deliver a pivotal bounce or the final blow to some of the presidential campaigns today. Hillary Clinton needs a win to slow Barack Obama's surge after Iowa. Republicans John McCain and Mitt Romney are duking it out to get their first win of the race. But the state has a huge number of independent voters, many of whom were still undecided in the final days. Of course, we'll have more from New Hampshire all day, and you'll also find the latest political news and views and the facts on all the 2008 presidential candidates at cnnpolitics.com. In Georgia, authorities say the missing 24-year-old woman whose body was found last night died from blunt force trauma to her head and was decapitated after she died. Meredith Emerson's body was found 30 miles from the spot she was last seen in the North Georgia mountains. Investigators in Georgia say the man suspected of killing her led investigators to her body. In the Midwest, flood watches and warnings extend from Missouri to Michigan. Water levels are rising rapidly in northern Indiana, which has soaked up 5 inches of rain. Officials report roads washed out and water spilling over the tops of dams. In Monticello, emergency management officials report a couple of hundred homes are underwater. However, many of them are unoccupied summer homes on the region's many lakes. Record high temperatures mean the threat of more storms will continue into the evening hours. And that's a look at the latest headlines for you this hour. Do be sure to stay with CNN for more on these stories and other news of the day.